you're here. Yeah, we're so glad you're here. Oh, we're so glad to be together in unity. We're so glad. So see if you remember this one. My troubles down the Madam Blue. You know that gypsy with the gold cap too. She's got a pad down at 34th and Vine, selling little bottles of love potion number 9. I told her that I was a flop with chicks. I've been this way since 1956. My palm and she made a magic sign. Said what you need is a love potion number 9. She bent down and turned around and gave me a wink. She said I'm gonna mix it up right here in the sink. It smelled like ink, but looked like Indian ink. I held my nose, I closed my eyes. I took a drink. I didn't know if it would stay all night. I started kissing everything inside. Then I kissed a clown down at 34th and Vine. He broke my little bottle of love potion number 9. I took my troubles down the Madam Blue. You know that gypsy with the gold cap too. She's got a pad down at 34th and Vine, selling little bottles of love potion number 9. I told her that I was a flop with chicks. I've been this way since 2006. She looked at my palm and she made a magic sign. Said what you need is a love potion number 9. She bent down and turned around and gave me a wink. She said I'm gonna mix it up right here in the sink. My blood looked like Indian ink. I held my nose, I closed my eyes. I took a drink. I didn't know if it would stay all night. I started kissing everything inside. When I kissed the cop down at 34th and Vine, he broke my little bottle of love potion number 9. Love potion number 9. Love potion number 9. Love potion number 9. All right. Hey. All right. Tell the person next to you before you're seated, say you're looking groovy this morning. You know, in the world, there's always a lot of things to be afraid of, you know. But sometimes we use our imagination in ways that are not healthy, right? I know I came from a family that could worry the wallpaper off the wall, you know. And we used our imagination to create all kinds of scenarios of doom, despair, and gloom, and depression, and monsters hiding under the bed. In fact, I read about a lady one time. She had, when she was younger, she would tell her folks, "There's somebody under the bed trying to get me." They said, "No, there's nobody there." So she spent her whole life looking under her bed. And then finally, one day after 50 years, he showed up. There was a man under her bed. And she looked at him and said, well, it's about time. So the message of unity is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to look under your bed. Just ignore that scary hand that's reaching for your head. Stop using your imagination to give yourself a fright. Affirm that everything's gonna be all right. And when things get spooky and when the going gets rough, the world's a little bit kooky with so much crazy stuff. Keep your mind on things above, and when you feel like toast, trust in the spirit of love and the power of the Holy Ghost. This is the message we all need to hear. Don't let those zombies bring you down. Let's choose to live without any fear, and together we can turn this world around. Play it, Chris. When will we see this world change? And when will things turn around? We must take back our true inner power and plant our feet on solid ground. So even when things get spooky and the going gets rough, and the world's a little bit kooky with so much crazy stuff, keep your mind on things above, and when you feel like toast, trust in the spirit of love and the power of the Holy Ghost. All right. Thank goodness for Halloween. All of a sudden, cobwebs in our house look like decorations.
We have got some major cobwebs going from the house to the trees.
There's even one on my
Oh,
shirt.
yeah.
Amazing.
Big old things.
Two monsters went to a Halloween party. Suddenly, one said to the other, "A lady just rolled her eyes at me. What should I do?" The other monster replied, "Be a gentleman and roll them back to her." All right.
All right.
Keep smiling, everybody.
So this month we've been talking about unmasking the true self, right? Taking that mask off and being authentic and letting our light shine and all those wonderful things. And so this morning we're really going to talk about shining your light. We're going to shine the light on some of the Halloween historical facts and emblems, symbols of Halloween. But let's start with...
And the rest of it, we're just going to make it up.
You know, change is in the air, right? The leaves are falling. We're starting to see some colors changing. And this is that time of year when it's, you know, the power for the month of November, which is coming up just around the corner, is release. And it's a time when we think about releasing things that no longer serve us, just like the trees are releasing their leaves. We let go so that something new can emerge. And over the winter months, we hibernate with that new thought, that new idea that's underneath the soil, gathering energy. And it's just, I love seasons, and I love the symbology of seasons. So anyway, this morning, let's start with an I am statement. I am light.
I am light.
I am radiant.
I am radiant.
I am the glow that transforms every shadow into joy.
I am the glow that transforms every shadow into joy.
Oh, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, I like that.
Pretty good, right?
There's a story about the jack-o'-lantern. It's hollow. The jack-o'-lantern is hollowed out until the light is placed inside. I mean, you ever felt hollow until you turn on the light, right? And that's what we need to do. How many understand that the switch is inside you? Make sense? So you have to turn on the light. You have to turn it on if you want to glow. Let's say together, I'm glowing. Glowing this morning, right? So just like us, when Spirit shines through, there's something that's otherworldly about people. Have you noticed that? You begin to see that there's a spiritual essence in people, around people, and your life takes on more of a synchronistic, harmonious coming together rather than pushing apart, but a coming together. See, some people see when things fall apart, they go, oh, everything's falling apart. No, it's just rearranging itself to come back together in a better, higher, greater way. Isn't that good? Yeah. It's all in how you perceive it. It's all in how you look at it. It's all in how you think about it.
So sometimes we don't necessarily feel like glowing.
Okay.
Right? And gratitude is a great way to get back in touch with that wanting to glow. I know that I have a couple practices at night when I lay down, and I've shared before that one of them is my daily forgiveness. I always go over my day and see if there's anyone I've put outside of myself, outside of oneness that I need
I volunteered to be the person that
to forgive and bring back. And then the second thing is to, think of 3 things over the course of the day that I was really grateful for. And gratitude is one of the things that can dissolve the anger and the fear and bring us back to that place of lightness and shining. And a second thing is there's a leaf ritual you can do. You can hold a fall leaf. Name one habit or thought that you'd like to let go of, that you'd like to release, and then just let it fall. Resentment, yeah, and then just let it fall. And as it falls, you just imagine that habit, thought, feeling, whatever, is falling away just like that leaf.
You always want to use your imagination in a positive way, right? We have to teach ourselves that. Whenever you're thinking those thoughts that are harmful or hurtful to you or anybody else, you want to stop. Yeah. Let's say together, stop.
Stop it.
Right? And change our focus, because you can only think about one thing at a time. Now, you can try and think about several things at once, but how does that work for you? You know what happens? You end up tripping and falling. You end up hurting yourself, right? So it's important to pay attention to where our mind is trying to take us, because it may not be where we want to go. But that's the beauty of it. It's just like the TV station. You're watching something, you go, ooh, I don't like that. You just change the channel. Mm-hmm. Click, click, click. And we want to learn how to be good at that, how to be proficient, channel changers
Yeah.
for the mental screens in our minds.
Definitely.
It's very powerful.
So we're going to get into a discussion about Halloween, but let's quickly recap. Over the course of this last 3 weeks, we've talked about a couple of Halloween characters. Do we have any ghosts in the audience, in the community? Okay. Well, ghosts represent...
We do, but you can't see them.
Oh, you can't see them. Oh. So ghosts, you may recall, represent past regrets. They come back to haunt you, right? And they vanish when they're faced with love. How about vampires? Do we have any vampires with us? Oh, good, because vampires are energy drainers. They disappear, though, when you set boundaries. How about zombies? We've got a pretty good crew this morning, apparently. Zombies speak of, you remember we talked about the zombie of discouragement. And when you get discouraged, you walk around like, oh, right? But imagination can reawaken your spirit. And then finally, werewolves. Oh, no, okay. Werewolves, we talked about, they're like revealing anger, howling at the moon, howling at everyone. But they get tamed through our awareness and through a healthy release. So those are kind of the four of the little aspects that we talked about over the past weeks.
And you know, these are symbolic of thoughts that we have. Mm-hmm. You know, the ghosts that come into our minds.
Sorry, it was, absolutely, it was a cobweb.
Well, you know,
It's creeping up.
I have a spider on my shirt.
Yeah, well.
So today I am a spider man. Thank you. So, what was I saying?
You were saying that these are...
oh, that's right. The symbology of everything in the world is a symbol of something.
Yeah.
Everything. Everything is a symbol. Yeah. So when people talk about ghosts represent the past. They represent the past that keeps haunting our dreams of today. And so if we can resolve the unfinished business that those ghosts have, then we can release them, right? And then the energy drainers. Well, you've got to take on the idea that you have the power to say yes and you have the power to say no, because we set boundaries. Remember when we talked about that a couple weeks ago? We have to learn how to set those emotional, mental boundaries so that we don't allow things into, people to take advantage of us. Yep. And a lot of times they don't know they're taking advantage. So you just have to set a boundary.
Shine the light on it.
That's right. So, the words yes are very, very sacred. The word yes is very sacred. So you want to say yes to the good stuff. Yes to life. Yes to, to the glory of it all. But you want to learn to say no to the things that are stealing your energy as you walk through the day. What's taking away your energy? Yeah. Then you want to say no to that, right? Don't say yes to the mess. Say no and set some good, healthy boundaries. Yeah. And treat yourself right. Just like Burger King, You drive up to the window and said, "You rule." That's what they say now.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. And they say, "You rule. You're the king." Okay. And I said, "Yeah, I know."
So why Halloween? Where did it come from? Why do we celebrate it? How did it get to be the thing that it is? And what does it mean for us? What can we do with it? 1 John 14:27 says, "Peace I leave with you, my perfect peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you." We have perfect peace within. And we can always return to that anytime we choose, because it's always there. But sometimes we like to step on the other side of that and experience something a little different, right? Some of us like scary movies. We like to be scared. Well, Halloween got its start with what we call the pagans. And the pagans were people of their time that were really just the country folk. They worked the land, they lived their lives according to the seasons, and they lived very much in harmony with Mother Nature. And you'll hear some people that today practice paganism. And that simply means that they're people who observe the seasons and they do rituals and so forth around those seasons and around Mother Nature. So they used to go out and collect roots, plants, leaves, and they used herbal medicine, which was the forerunner of the herbal remedies that we use today. And they would discover the medicinal properties of these things. And oftentimes, because they were doing that, they were kind of targeted. At first, they were very much sought out. They were the people who had the cures, who had the answers. And then later on, that kind of got, a little bit turned on them. Essential oils were highly prized and used to heal the body, mind, and spirit. Right, Linda? Yeah, essential oils were big. So, that's kind of where it got.
Yeah,
where we start.
Herbal remedies were the forerunners of our modern day medication.
Right.
But you have to understand something about our modern medicine is that in order for them to make any money from it, they can't use natural substances. They have to use different, something different. Because for whatever reason, I guess there's some things you can't patent.
You can't patent natural.
You can't patent lavender, right?
Yeah.
So that's just something to keep in mind. And there's nothing, how many know that if you need medicine, you better be taking it, right? Because it's what you believe in, that's what's going to help you, that's what's going to help whatever it is to make it work.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah. So in the fall of the year, the pagans would celebrate harvest time. It was considered a very special occasion. They would dance and laugh and have parties around fires, which we did Friday night. We had our bonfire. And
Yes,
I
we
don't
did.
know if anyone was dancing, but there was lots of laughing and eating and that sort of thing. So, but they would have these fires and they would just really celebrate the harvest, because that harvest was what was going to sustain them through the winter. So they were very grateful, and it was very much to be celebrated. James says they partied like it was 1605.
Yeah.
Because that's about the time that this was going on. So this festival, this celebration, was called Samhain, or Summer's End, and it happened on November 1st, and it's officially fall when Samhain happens. So the priests merged these pagan beliefs that were so popular with Christianity that was coming on the front. And so All Hallows Eve began being celebrated on October 31st, and it eventually became the Halloween that we know today. What about trick or treat?
What about
that
it?
come from? Where'd that come from?
Yeah.
How did that get thrown into the mix?
Well, it was the Irish. It was their fault.
Those Irish.
Do you have any Irish people that have a little Irish in them?
All
Okay.
right.
All
Thank
right.
you for trick or
Got a
treating.
few. But one of their rituals would be to dress up and to go out into public, and they would perform, they would sing, they would dance, they would tell stories, and then they would expect a treat. Sometimes they would do magic tricks. And this is what the Irish did. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of where we have this trick or treat. It came from the Irish. So thank you, Irish people, because I know the little boy in me thanks you for that, right? How many remember going to house and getting treats? And
Yeah.
how many still get the treats because you're old enough to go buy it for yourself now? Woohoo!
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So they believed that the jack-o'-lantern was to light the way for lost souls, and the face that they carved on him was supposed to scare bad spirits away, right? So the concept here is the idea that you and the face you present to the world is bigger than your fears.
Yeah.
It's bigger than your fears. So one of the other things that happens around this time of the year is Dia de los Muertos, and it's the Day of the Dead. So that's a celebration that happens when they celebrate their ancestral people who have passed on, and they believe that at this time of the year, there is a thinning of the veil between the spirit world and this world. There's a thinning of the veil, and so they honor and recognize their ancestors, and I think believe that it's a way to really bring them in and communicate with them. So the thinning of the veil. Aaron Morgenstern said, it's said that All Hallows Eve is one of the nights when the veil between the worlds is thin. And whether you believe in such things or not, those roaming spirits probably believe in you, or at least acknowledge your existence, considering that it used to be their own. Even the air feels different on Halloween, autumn crisp and bright.
And you know, it's really true. It's really true what it's being said there. Our loved ones are all around us. Mm-hmm. Just because we can't see them with our physical eyes doesn't mean that they're not there. And every once in a while they touch in with us and they say, hey, you know, how are you? What's going on? They come to us in our dreams. You know, and sometimes we can just, there are times when I can just feel my dad with me, you know, just kind of walking through life, and I just sense his presence, and I'll hear a song on the radio, and I'll say, hello, Dad, you know, because I know that's one of his songs, because he loved to do karaoke, and he would sing these whiny country songs, you know, and so whenever I hear one of those, I know it's my dad, you know, yep. and it's wonderful. And so our loved ones are still with us. They're still with us. And so you can actually take this time of year, maybe light a candle for a loved one and just wish them well and say, hey, I'm thinking about you now. And I just wanted to share my love with you. Because just because you can't see them doesn't mean they don't exist. Because how many know that we're all spirits? We're all spiritual beings. And when you send them love, they connect. They feel it too. Yeah. And when you think about them, they just pop into your head. That's them letting you know they're thinking about you. Yeah. Right?
How many of you have birds or butterflies or something that you have associated with a loved one, and when you see that, you know, yeah, that's so-and-so, and I'm, you know, yeah. They're just letting me know that they're still here, right?
Yeah, there was a 2-week period where this red bird would peck on the window every day and wake me up. Just, what are you doing? What's going on with that? And it just throughout the day. And after about 5 days, I said, oh, Spirit's trying to get a message to me. Right? You ever just like, oh, I get it now, you know? And it gave me, there was a teaching that came to me to share about self-esteem, you know, because the red, you know, is symbolic, and the bird, the thoughts, and the flying, and but it was a loved one that was reaching out, just helping me, you know? In fact, did you know that the pagans believed that spiders were actually your ancestors coming to visit you at your house? Right? Do you ever wonder how they get in there? This big old spider, how did it get there? Where did it come from? I don't know. It's just a question. But they believed that they were our ancestors, so I don't know, you know. So the next time you stomp on one, you might, oh, sorry, Uncle Fred.
Oh, my. So what about the cauldron? We always, around Halloween, see the very craggly-looking witches, right? Very sinister-looking witches, which are those symbolic of those pagans that were digging up the herbs and leaves and bark and using them and creating medicines. But they're always depicted with the cauldron. Well, the cauldron really is the cauldron of life, where the souls went in between lifetimes to await being reborn into the world. Now, that's a different way to think of the cauldron, isn't it? All that swirling around in there is just the souls waiting to go back into this existence. So, did you know that 51% of people believe in an afterlife? 51%. 17% are not sure, and 18% don't believe in anything after death. Wow. Yeah. I can't imagine for myself holding that belief that there's not something after this existence.
Well, there is. There's just more life.
I know.
You just keep on living, right?
But to carry around that belief that there isn't anything, to me would be, for me, would be extremely discouraging.
And that's because we live in a world that's very materialistic. They believe that everything has to be proven by some sort of physical proof. You know, if I can't see it, then I won't believe it. But see, spirituality doesn't work that way. You have to believe it, and then you see it.
Yeah.
You understand? You have to use your imagination in order to connect with it. And that's what faith is. Faith is useful imagination, all right? Positive imagination. Mm-hmm. And so there's some things that I know 100% within me to be true. I just can't prove it. You know, they haven't done an experiment yet that proves that this is so. But there's something inside me that says it's so.
Yeah.
You know, for thousands of years, people believed in demons that made them sick. Today, you know what we call them? Bacteria. Viruses.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they had knowledge in those days. They had understanding in ancient times because they were connected to the earth. They were connected to the seasons. They were connected to the harmonious cycles of life. And they understood things, and they just knew. People just, they just accepted certain things,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And so you know if something is true for you or not. So don't let anybody tell you that you don't know because it hasn't been proven by science yet, right? Because science is wonderful, and I love it when science helps us and proves things and shows, hey, maybe this isn't, you know, maybe this is, maybe, and that's good, right? I mean, know that we're not here to throw science out the door. You're still picking at me,
Yeah,
aren't
the
you?
spider's still working there.
Wow.
Sorry.
I had an aunt,
Yeah.
and she liked to drink a bit. And
That's
when
an understatement.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
And so as a little boy, little children, we'd go over to her house. And she was one who liked to kiss me on the forehead or on the cheek or on the lips or whatever, you know, little boys. And she just, you know, and it's like, Mom, what does that smell? You know. Anyway,
So-
and she would always pick at me, you know. She'd take her handkerchief, oh, you got a mark there, and she'd wipe spittle on me.
So, getting back to
I
our-
just needed to share
I
that
guess
for a
you
moment. Is that
did.
all right?
Did I remind you of your aunt? Maybe she's trying to talk to you this morning. Maybe she's trying to send you a message.
I love you, Jerry.
Geraldine.
Geraldine.
So these wonderful symbols of Halloween, we see how we can look at them and kind of incorporate the metaphysical meaning behind them into our lives. But what about Halloween itself? I think it's a really fun holiday to just try on, a holiday to try on a different persona. It's kind of fun to dress up like, I don't know what you are.
She's
You're
a
a what?
mechanic. I'm the happy one. And you're the happy one.
Okay, so
Very
sometimes,
good.
okay. What were you?
Mechanic.
Oh, a mechanic. A mechanic. Yeah, see, I'm not a mechanic. You're not a mechanic. But isn't it fun to put on that costume and just kind of hide behind that persona and take on a different identity for just a little short bit? Doesn't have to be for long, right? It's just kind of
You know anything
fun.
about Ford engines?
So,
Okay. There you go.
so can tear it apart. I just can't put it back together. So it's this idea we've talked about before about, trying on the old identity maybe doesn't work anymore. Who am I now? All my life I've been this. Oh, retired people, you especially know what this is all about, right? Because all of your life you've kind of been identified as the accountant or the manager or whatever the case may be, and you retire and suddenly, I think that's the thing that hangs up retirees the most. Who am I? Who am I now? So this the Halloween period allows us to just try on a different persona for fun. You got, I don't know what. Yeah, butterflies. Oh, to be a butterfly. What might that be like? To think about what must it be like to be a butterfly? To come from a different land than yours. A different culture. What might that be like? So it's just fun.
Yeah,
It's
try
just
on different
fun.
hats and different personas.
Randy
And-
tried on a different hat. He's got the
Yes,
Wanderer's hat.
That's right.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. Kathy too. She's, yeah. All right.
In Unity, we don't tell you what you must believe. We don't tell people that you have to believe this or you have to believe that. But we teach that it's good to be open to learning something new, right? To be open to learning something new and to hear other people out, to listen to what they're saying. You'll discover that if you hear somebody, you really hear them, then they'll become your friend. You may not agree with everything they say, but if you open your heart just a little bit and listen, and just take a moment just to listen, you discover that you have more in common than what you think. Because human beings are 99.99999% the same. It's just a little bitty difference. That's it. That's all. It's just a little. And so we make things up, don't we? We separate ourselves from each other. And so we're all students of what? Truth. I'm a student of the truth. I just want to know truth. I just want to get it because I know that truth, according to what Jesus said, will make me free. Bring freedom into my life. Isn't it true? So, wow. We're rational, we're logical, but we're also intuitive and mystical. Does that sound good? Yeah. So I want you to kind of get that mystical feeling this morning. Yeah. All right, let's take a breath together.
Your handout is on the back table should you choose to take one.
Yeah. So let's breathe now. Just allow whatever stress you may have been carrying this week, whatever's been on your mind, maybe been a little obsessed over something, maybe even a little compulsive about something. In the quiet and the stillness of your soul, there's peace. There's rest. There's a beautiful stillness that's there. Nothing you have to prove to anybody. Nothing you really have to do. But just be in the quiet and rest there. And just breathe. Breathe in love. Release all fear. Sacred presence dwells here. In the quiet, I am safe. In the quiet, I am my soul. I am whole. I am well. Perhaps your body may be just a little bit out of alignment this morning. Maybe you've got pain somewhere. I want you to focus on that part of your body. Tell your knee, your hip, your skull, whatever it is, say, I love you. I bless you. I am whole. I am well. And let go. Feel yourself just letting go of the pain. Maybe just a little bit. A little bit's all you need. Breathing deep. And just noticing your breath. I bless my body now. I'm grateful for my feet and my legs. I'm grateful for my torso, my arms. I'm grateful for my beautiful brain. I'm grateful for it all. And I sit here in this moment receiving health, healing, and wholeness. And I say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. If you know of someone that you'd like to pray for or hold in this moment, a sacred holding, where you hold them in consciousness, hold them in your heart and your mind, and speak words of well-being and blessing to them now. Surround them with your good thoughts, your good energy, your prayers. I bless you, my friend. I bless you now. In the name of the Christ. In the name of all that's good and holy. So in this moment, I invite you just to think about what you're grateful for. Your life, your friends, your family, whatever it is, just hold that gratitude in your heart. We're grateful for this community. We speak blessings, prosperity, and joy, laughter, peace to each and every one. So I invite you just to hold the space for just a moment and to be open to receive divine ideas, good thoughts, whatever you need this morning in the quiet and in the stillness. And so now, we receive and we let go. We breathe in love and light, and we release all fear. We say, thank you, God, and so it is.